We live with Eva Bass, my sister, community leader, you
Yeah.
know, right way, um, great way mentorship,
What?
great
Yeah.
leader of. She wears many hats, so you gotta excuse me if I miss one or two. You know what I'm saying? She's a chef. She, I was gonna throw that in there either. She's a chef, right? She's a mother, right?
Mhm.
She's a sister. Um, she's also, she runs, Great Way Mentorship. We're going
Mhm.
to speak about that. We're going to speak about Bridge the Gap. We're going to speak about the Youth Entrepreneurship Program, the Albany Festivals coming up, the Peace March that we've been doing for years. We're going
Mhm.
to speak about, she's a equity agenda chair
Mhm.
for the mayor underneath, community outreach officer for the city of Albany.
Mhm.
She also the president of Albany and Troy Lions Club,
Mhm.
vice president of the village, right?
Mhm.
Because it takes a village to raise a child. And
Exactly.
yeah, like I said, she's here. She's been going hard for years now, and yeah, we just here to speak about what's going on in our community and what needs to be going on in our
Right.
community and what we
Right.
need to be implementing in our community moving forward.
Mhm.
Through the mix of all of this madness that's going on that's in certain scriptures. You know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So like I said, thank you for coming to the show.
You're
I
welcome. Thank you for
appreciate you
having
sharing
me.
it. You know what I'm
Finally.
saying, yeah, sharing. I want to give you roses while you're here. You know,
I
and
appreciate that.
yeah, like I said, I know in this job, and knowing your job and being the community leader, it's a lot of it's a lot of obstacles that you have to take and being in your stance. And I just want you to speak to the people about what you do and your platform that you're on. You know what I'm
Okay. Well, he kind of said a lot about who I am. I'm not sure where to look,
saying?
but um, so I do a lot, as he said. I founded an organization called Bridge the Gap Resource and Outreach back in 2014, where I started doing platform events to bring resources to the community. So I do it in a collective way. Our mantra is unity and collaboration creates positive change. So we partnered with then it was Cure Violence.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were one of my first community partners.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like as
That's crazy.
far as
Yeah,
besides my church,
that's crazy.
and different people like that. Yeah,
That's crazy. Okay.
we connected with All Street Global and Care Violence, now known as Snug
Mm-hmm.
518 Snug. And we started doing dinners, and we started doing uh, what else did we do together?
We did marches, we did dinners, we did a lot of
Marches and dinners.
community events.
Yep, give out turkeys, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I do things like that. So the Peace March is one of the biggest things that I pride. The Peace March, we do, a lot of stuff. Uh, but my mission is to bring people together in unity so that we can create positive change in our community. We're a community development corporation, so I am the founder and president. We have a executive director who is Virginia Rollins, and we have a board that actually is just now being, growing.
And she's also
Um,
part of the Community Solutions Project.
I
Virginia,
am
that's a
part of
sis. Yeah,
the
and
Community Solutions
Eve was on it a
Project.
while ago. We did this a while ago. We did
Yeah.
this in house, but I felt that it was only right to bring it back to because we have to a lot of these conversations we have to keep having,
Yeah,
right? We
yeah,
have to keep having. It's like how you see TV, how we see stuff. It's like repetitive, back to back to
yeah.
back stuff. So
Mhm.
we have to drill this
Mhm.
conversations and we have to drill these platforms. We have to drill this community um, um, networking and
Mhm.
unity together. We have to keep
Yeah,
showing
that's
this.
most
You know what I'm saying?
important. Yeah, because I don't even really want to talk about. I feel a little nervous. I don't
I don't
want
know
to talk
why.
about my
Yeah, yeah.
background.
You
I
have to
mean,
speak
if
on.
you know me, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know me, get to know
Mm-hmm.
me. We're gonna connect if we're on the right type of time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know,
And we all come from a past, so it's like some people
yeah,
see us like, oh no, those guys are perfect. They never been through nothing. You know what I'm
nah.
saying? Like, so it's like they see us and like, oh, listen, those are perfect. Those are the perfect people. Like, they earned the jobs. They graduated from Yale or
No,
whatever, and what I mean, they got
no.
credentials. Like a lot of us just we just put ourselves on the line, right?
We sacrifice a lot. We sacrifice basically our lives, like,
Right.
because we have a call or a mandate on our life to really, help and be a servant. I count it as a ministry in my book, because I'm definitely led by God to serve my community in whatever way I can. I never thought it would come to this, but now that it is, and now that I've gained certain perspectives, and been servicing the community, I want to focus on wealth building in our community, through education, workshops, through mentorship. We have to get our community to obtain space, to circulate our own funds, our own money, to create a community support system. Those things, I think, are very important. And,
And so, what is your job? Because, like, I mean, let's go from hat to hat, right?
Yeah, we could do that. I can tell you how I do that in each
what is
capacity.
your, all right, so first of all, your 9 to 5 is
The city of Albany.
Albany equity agenda, right?
So I am the community outreach coordinator, officer, whatever you want to call it.
That's underneath the mayor of the city.
Yes, so I work directly for the mayor.
Right.
And what I do is I help bridge the gap to information. So it's very complex because, in my book, you need a large team to be able to do it the way I really envision it. But basically, I work with community stakeholders, to build our partnerships within the city.
And I'm actually, not to cut you off, but I was hired to do the equity agenda interviews.
Yes,
right?
you are.
So I'm interviewing people like different departments of the city, right?
Yep, to say what we do.
Right.
A lot of people don't know most of the resources that are in the city of Albany. We have workforce development, we have training, we have even mentorship, I want to call it. We have My Brothers and Sisters Keeper. We have our youth opportunity office, they call it now. It used to be the youth workforce development. We have a Department of Recreation. It gives us recreation, different programs, things like that.
Because a lot of us don't know. A lot of us, I'm still learning, and I'm doing the interviews, but it's like a lot of us don't know about these resources that's in the community, and that fund that's funded by is it government funded or is they?
So funding comes from a lot of different places. It's not necessarily just tax based. So, sometimes there's grant opportunities. Sometimes, since I've been working for the city of Albany, we focused on creating solutions and then finding the money. So however we get it, it's about really creating change in our community. And that's my experience working for the administration.
And sometimes, I sit back and I watch, like, people attack you, maybe, you know what I'm saying? I hear conversations like, you work for the mayor, so you supposed to be doing this, or you supposed to be doing this, so you kind of like, you kind of like in the mix of tug of war, right?
It's hard,
I know even with the mayor,
I've gotten attacked verbally, and people are mean, but it's about the overall goal, and I'm not really worried about that. What I'm worried about is my people participating. I'm worried about my people coming to have a seat at the table, and being proper representation of them. That's where I'm at. And I really want to bridge that access to information, and that's where I pride my job, to be able to work with community engagement. It's one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my whole entire life, because we have broken relationships within our community, in every level, every sector. In the inside of our community, with outside people, it's like, it's a lot of brokenness, and I believe that, we really need to build our relationships. We need to figure out a solution centered around that. And that will help us have more information, because the city is concentrated with resources. Besides, if it's from the city of Albany, like they have their things, but then you have the county. But besides government entities, we have a lot of grassroots organizations out here really doing everything they can to make a difference, most of which who are not recognized or, on the big popular list either.
I was gonna say that too. Is like, is it a lot of companies, a lot of organizations that's here that people don't hear about, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of organizations that like, hopefully this platform could bring us together, right? Because it's companies, is organizations over here. Like, you would have 2-3 organizations doing the same event the same day.
Right.
So the community, it's so small to be so scattered. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not so much that you're doing events at the same day, because they say there's 96,000 people in here in the city of Albany, which I believe we were definitely undercounted because us as a community didn't participate in the census, right? So right now they're saying it's only 93,000 of us here. However, people don't show up. People don't vote. People don't, there's a lot of complaining, a lot of Facebooking.
Right.
But
when it's time to show up and the laws are made.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the process, because it's just being a part of the process, And so I know, like, I am the biggest advocate to dismantle systemic oppression of people. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I understand that dynamic, and I understand those things that are put in place even before the people that are sitting in the positions got there. The thing is that there are ways that you can still participate. It's just about utilizing that time and that platform accordingly, and understanding the power and the essence of your voice and your concerns. Because at the end of the day, through my service through the city, I am a servant of the community. Right. I don't need to be abused.
Right.
However, I'm here to listen.
Community abuse, because I went through it before and been in a position. You know what I'm saying? I burnt out before.
Yeah,
burnt out. Situations where I got fired from the situations, and and I needed people to reach out to me, and nobody was there to reach out. You reached out to me.
Oh yeah.
And I always respected it. It was like, it was bigger than just you in the company. You got fired. You called DWI situation. You crashed up the car, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying, not knowing that I wasn't sleeping. I was going through some situations where I'm stopping homicides. I'm a first responder. I got a staff I got to monitor. You know what I'm saying, but my first, my what? So I'm first stopping, homicides here, and I know these people. It's not like I'm like detached from the community. I'm saying I'm a part of the community. I'm a part of the community. That's why I'm able to do what I do. Right. So when you reached out to me, it was like, wow, like, what I'm saying, I gotta step it up. You're like, forget the company. It ain't about the company. It's about the community. It's about us, the community. So I'm like, all right, you right. I brush my cape off and do
for years, mind you. For years,
that's a fact. So it's like, I
always
love you for that. And I'm saying, 'cause it was like, it was bigger than just, you just doing the company, because I wasn't even getting paid to do it. I'm saying, I was doing it constantly hard, because this is what I want to do.
And that's a part of our mentorship program. It's just about being there for somebody else when, to help them see their full potential.
Right. And to say that, it's like, sometimes I see you on the joint, I'm burnt out, and I'll be like, I hit you
Me
up.
too, I be needing it.
Sis, push through, let's go. Push through. And
you
that's needed.
Keep on going. It gets
even
hard.
This platform is therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? That's why this platform is needed. Conversations is needed, because sometimes we think we the only ones doing it. We think we the only ones feeling this way, right?
Right.
And it's like, nah, like, you got a bunch of people that support. So this is the support system that we need to put together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, your face, sometimes, like, some people won't know. Be like, oh, that's Eva. She's the mayor. You know what I'm saying? Because you in front of the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how strong is the community's voice, as far as how powerful is the community without the mayor and everything in front of that?
Right. I mean, leadership is important. And I think that, when you're in leadership, it's about teaching, it's about cultivating, it's about helping people find the tools and the resources so they can be their greater self. Like it's not for you to be in no dictatorship. Right. It's not none of that.
And that's what the Great Way is about.
The Great Way mentorship program is to help people to be their greatest self. So it's not something, there's no curriculum, there's no anything. It's about connecting real people to real people.
Coming in as you are.
As you are. And it's peer to peer. And it's a lot of people. I know, I mean,
how did that start up? How did that start?
So I started this back in 2014, but I named it after Elijah Cancer, after he died, because him and I were really, really close friends. We talked a lot about what his vision and his dream was for the South End and how he wanted to use his life to help change his community. So
he did.
Yeah, he did in his life and definitely in his death. So I decided to name that after him.
The last march we did, he was in it.
The last march we did.
Before the COVID, right?
No, not the last march. We did another one after that, and he wasn't there.
The march before that.
Yeah. He was in it, right? Yep. And then we did a
couple days after he got.
Yep, a couple days after he got killed, and it was,
crazy. Shook the whole city up.
Yeah,
the whole city. It's a major pillar in the city.
Yeah, and it's a lot of major pillars, and you know what? You don't know who's connected to who, because we're all being impacted by these murders. And even, if it's not a direct family member, it's connected to somebody that you love, that you see hurting, and we're all a community. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so,
absolutely.
We were talking about this earlier.
Absolutely.
And earlier, basically, I feel that I'm not going to, listen, I'm just going to sound real. It's not too late, but it's too late to do this preventative measure thing. We have to really do some healing and stepping back and figuring out what the issue is, healing the family. You know what I mean? So those are the prevention measures. Once somebody gets dead, I'll put it like this. Once somebody gets killed or once somebody ends up shooting or getting locked up, like, yes, there is, rehabilitation for some, but once you're gone, you're gone. You know what I mean? But if we focus our energy in healing the family, and equipping these single mothers, and it's like, I don't even want to sit there and entertain the stigma that everybody comes from a broken home. Like, that's first of all, like, there's a lot of happy black families. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely. that have good houses, live better than most rich people I know. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And so that, like, basically, we're in a society that a lot of things are okay. You look at the internet. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you listen to the music.
I was going to say that.
The music is like, and somebody, I think Daryl said that this morning. He had wrote a post. I read his post.
I saw that, yeah.
And it's like the music, like the music industry. And a lot of people don't know that the music industry had a meeting back in early 2000. This was before, like, Biggie died and everything. And there was a meeting so that they can utilize the industry, the music industry. You know what I mean? So they wanted it all to contain sex, drugs, and violence, destruction, gangbanging. Right. You know what I mean? And that was I
don't know if you saw my post earlier or what I was saying earlier. I was working out, but I was like venting, whatever the case. I had to say something. I'm like, I'm doing a 16 birthday, sweet 16 birthday party the other day.
Yeah.
And they all listen. They all on gang
time. They know all the gang sign, all the music.
They listen to King Von. King Von dead. Yeah. But y'all still rocking to he's still living through the music.
And then the things that they saying, it's like our words, like, if everything is spiritual, okay? So our words are weapons.
Absolutely.
It's a sword. Our tongue.
And these
it can give life and
these are little
take
girls,
life.
Right? So imagine what the little boys that like these little girls got to do for them to like them, right?
Exactly.
This is all psychology.
It's a lot.
It's psychology. So they give these young boys a bunch of money, they drive foreign cars. You know what I'm saying? They tear themselves up, and now they looking at now the little girls idolizing these guys. Like, oh, they got the money, they doing this, they doing this, but they dying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you really doing? You know? So it's like this is poison in our community right now.
Right.
It's poison in our generation.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna lie. I listen to certain music.
I listen to it too.
It's like when certain lyrics come on, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm about the beat, and I'm about the
the beat. Mm-hmm. It beats you in. I'm saying.
Yeah, some of the words.
The hook. It hooks you in. I'm saying it's the hook.
Right.
You get hooked.
So it's definitely more so like a mental health standing. People having the ability to make good decisions. It's about mediation. People being able to, mediate within themselves or within their community. It's also about having
different options, right?
Mm-hmm.
If all you're seeing is gang, or everybody on gang time, and you don't have any other outlets to go to, like no training programs. Like I want to speak about the 3 basketball courts they put downtown. For what? That same money. Then it's a center right there already, right? They got a center. When I was in Cure Valence, they had a center right there. There's a college there. Nobody knew about the college that was right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's the access to information.
So check it out. You got this center here no one goes to. It's a $1 million building y'all built up from ground up. Nobody gave you authorization to do it. Y'all using all this funding. This funding's coming. Certain people like yourself, you cook. You could teach culinary arts. They had
well, that building wasn't owned by the city of Albany at all. So it was, and I don't know. By the time I got in the scene, it was already a done deal. Everything was about.
But even the basketball courts now, the 3 basketball, is that all by the Albany City?
The one in Lincoln Park.
The 3 basketball courts they putting downtown for the kids.
I think it's only going to be 2 now. They just did community input, and it's going to be 2.
Okay. Well, either way, we don't need no more basketball courts. We don't need no more playing, right?
Right.
I'm thinking this, right? Because I have a son. I have a 13, or I have a 14, I have a 13 and a 14-year-old son, right? One is entrepreneur, one is in the video game. They both entrepreneurs. I'm teaching them entrepreneurship.
I think we need some of everything. I think that we do need more basketball courts because there was a lack of opportunity for these kids to be able to play basketball because there's a large population of youth that do like and enjoy, and young men. However, we still need other programs.
How about entrepreneurial programs? How about computer repair? How about political classes?
So let's talk a little bit about who's responsible for those things, because who
is responsible for that? I don't know.
Everybody. Everybody's responsible. So, I do, and I don't want to keep on talking too much about I'm off the clock. I'm talking about, community building. Right. But the city is a city. It's supposed to be roads, garbage, landfill, you know what I mean? And being able to put certain things into legislation to be able to support positive initiatives, that's work in itself.
So who puts those in order? Who's like, what's the chain of command to make different laws happen? So we can get some.
So there's a legislation branch, but there's a long process because it's the community that really helps create the laws by sharing what their needs are. So that's why it's so important for community members to show up to public meetings. And I know sometimes it's hard. Like life is hard to juggle.
What if you don't know about the public meetings? Because I don't get notifications.
Right. I don't.
How about the secret meetings they have when they don't know?
Well, you can find that information. I don't think they're secret. I just think that it's an issue that's all across all sectors of access to information. No, there's no one. Everybody's different, so there's no one way to say, okay, this is the place you get all the information, because we still need to take accountability. Like we grown, like, you know what I mean?
But I'm asking, where do we find information at one of
the website? The city of Albany has a website. The Common Council has a website. ACDA has a website. That's where you get apply for grants and things for your program. Right now, they have a grant available for COVID response. So if you have programs or initiatives that's going on to support, the effects of COVID-19, you can apply for that on Albany Community Development website or 200 Henry Johnson. But it's about talking, sharing information. Sometimes I don't know all the information. I'm personally not the directory. Right, you know what I mean?
Right. No, I understand.
I know a lot. Like I'm normally in the loop, and I still am. But I learned that when I was sick with COVID, I learned that, It's like, dag, if I'm gone, like, what if something do happen to me? I thought I was gonna die. It was bad. Then what? You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's the importance of access to information is bigger than what people think. And creating that access and what that looks like, I mean, I don't know if it's a guide, because the thing is that information changes every day. If you move your office across the way, all of a sudden your information is no longer valid. Who got the capacity and the money to run a directory? We don't have the white pages no more, because everything's electric.
Maybe that's a need that we need to put together. Maybe that's a solution to one of our issues, right?
Well, the city of Albany, I advocated and worked very hard to for us to create a resource guide back in 2018. And in 2019 we launched the City of Albany Resource Guide centered around summer programs. And now we actually have like a form going out right now. So if you have any kind of services, mentorship programs, or anything that you're doing legit for the community, you can upload your information to the Google form, and it will be on the website.
Which website is that?
Don't quote me.
Okay.
It's a community resource guide. We're working on getting it on the actual webpage. So by late June, you should see it on the webpage. I'm being real. It's a process. But that's an avenue to start. I also hold community conversations, like with the equity agenda, share information. And the City of Albany website, their Facebook page, you can find this stuff, you know what I mean? And the more stuff that I get, I try to get it put on there. But honestly, there's no community-based information sharing platform.
So that's needed. That's a need.
That is a need. I started the Bridge the Gap group page, and we were using that for that information for many years. I think we have, a couple thousand followers. Okay. But that gets hard to manage a little bit. And I see multiple other. I don't see nothing collective, but I do see different ways. So I guess it's on what you're plugged into. So my first suggestion would make sure that you're plugged into somebody that you know who's active in the community. Everybody know my Facebook. It's Eva Bass on Facebook. You can either watch my page or hit me up if it's important. I'm going to tell you, I took 72 calls today.
At the office.
And all day. Yeah, it's not at the office. It's my cell phones and all of that. Okay. So that's a lot. Yeah, so
the day is not even over yet.
No. It's still half the day. So hit me on Facebook if you have some information. But if you're looking for information in regards to jobs and trainings, go to 175 Central Avenue on the 2nd floor. Okay. You do, if you're looking for employment, if you're looking for employment, they also have the Department of Labor downstairs. It is important to register with them, because then you'll get all the job posting that's going on. But go upstairs, look for Willie White or Elizabeth Harris or Willie Vice. Those are the 3 people that can help you for programs. You can get training for OSHA training and things centered around construction. You can get scholarships or internships. Liz Harris is like one of the most hidden jewels in the city of Albany, and she's helped so many people connect to jobs, training, all of that stuff.
You gotta get Liz over here.
Yeah.
Liz, pull up, Liz.
So she's one of the, her, Willie.
Willie too. Willie actually was involved with the Village program. You're vice president of the Village program,
so
right?
Willie White, so I am the vice president of a village. A village embraced me when I first started with my nonprofit. Willie has worked years to get me on the board, and as soon as he got me on there, he left me. I'll just put that out there. But he is the founder of A Village Inc. And we still work towards positive change that's centered around health equity, and addressing the disparities that come from systemic oppression of people, especially people of color. We do information sessions. We do innovation. We have innovation blocks, which we go block to block downtown. We have leaders down there that help us just assess what the needs are. Like, we advocate and we create programming to support, changes that need to be made. We have our South End Night Market. Every Thursday, it need to be popping down there. And we still looking for vendors. We're looking for food vendors, different kind of vendors.
So what is it like a market where what type of things is being?
So you can sell your products. So if you have products that your company makes, so like your all street T-shirts, you could be down at the night market selling them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday night. I know.
Thursday night. Yeah, at the night market.
Where's the location?
Is that Warren Street? Right in front of Youth FX, right there.
Warren. What happened? The red lights on?
It's the first the white box in the middle is showing on the screen. Then when I try to turn that off, then the red.
It's okay. I can edit that later, as long as the red light is on.
But yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Just keep the red light on.
So at the night market, it's a platform for resources and small businesses to be able to give their products to the community. Right. So we're there from, I think we just expanded our hours to like 8 o'clock, I think 7 or 8 o'clock.
How much is it to get in there?
It's free to get in. We also offer the COVID vaccine if that's something that you choose. It doesn't cost anything, but you do have to purchase, the food and things like that. But there's different activities. I personally host community conversations. I'm trying to do them like once or twice a month. Okay. And we hold community conversations around health equity, and around situations that's going on, sharing resources, so having interviews. So that's something that I personally do, with my capacity with the village. We have so many things. Okay. We are connected to the South End Community Collaboration Collective. It's something like that. Sorry, Tom. But basically, it's a collective of organizations and community members that work towards positive change. Those community members are welcome to join those conversations. At our Thursday meetings, at our community, like, the community forum that I do, that's the purpose for the community members to come talk, to not only gain information but also share information as well.
And that's every Thursday.
It is every Thursday. It started last month. It's gonna go until November.
What's the hours?
6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay, 2 hours.
No, I'm lying. 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Right by Youth FX.
Yeah, right in front of you at Warren Street. If that's the street, right, that whole block is blocked off.
Okay. Police station down the block.
It's not that far. It's like, what's that first street? That's not Grand. What's the street before Grand? Myrtle. What is that? No, Myrtle go up.
Downtown by. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, but.
I don't know the streets, but yeah.
Yeah, and I could share.
Youth FX. Just look up Youth FX address.
Yeah, right there. You couldn't even Google South End Night Market. We have a Facebook page. We have a website. It's a Village Inc. We are looking for community participation. We're looking to really uplift and create economic development in the South End, and beyond. So that's what I do in that job capacity.
So another thing, because I have community members that hit me up, they used to seeing, us engage in the community, they used to seeing, and they want to invest. They want to, I got food, I got cookouts, let's do this. I want to do block for block. Like, we go do cookouts, same way we was doing before, do cookouts block for block. But invest with community members. Like, is that something that you would be willing to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm down for. I'm all for creating
so I got my own
wealth in our community.
Food, we got their own grill, we got our own money to put together. Because at the end of the day, we have to stop trying to, we have to utilize our resource, but at the same time, we have to be a resource at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's why I believe in the collective, because everybody has a space. You know what I mean? Like, I might be able to cook, but you could DJ, but you could this.
Right.
And it's not about using each other. It's
Right.
about utilizing for, a common
The
goal.
biggest
And
goal,
our
the bigger
goal
goal.
is to be able to service our community. Our goal is to be able to, it's multidimensional, and everybody has different goals.
To stop this violence that's
Yeah,
going
to
on.
stop the violence, but
Create different
Yeah.
programs so the youth can be occupied by different things, different options, right?
Yeah, and that's basically addressing the adverse effects of systemic oppression. But I look at and I study the social determinants of health, and I study, I'm trying to figure out a way, and this is something I do in every capacity, just trying to figure out a balance, like how do we justify where you should be, but violence, poverty, hunger, mental health, homelessness, all of these things are adverse effects. So we need to get to the root cause and the root of why this is happening, or how can we fix it before those effects start. So we do need to heal the people in the community that has already been affected, but we also need to do preventative measures, and that's going to be through education and training.
A solution.
Huh?
That would be a solution.
Yeah, that's one of my solutions.
Okay, and your solutions, say it again? Because that's what this is about, solutions.
Solutions,
right?
Yeah. You want to make, I'm just speaking out of my head, but creating community wealth through education and addressing the adverse effects of systemic oppression of people. Especially in the Black community.
Especially in the target population, because so much resources get funneled from our people, but don't come back to our people, right?
Right.
I see that. I've been in different meetings where it's like, all right, we need this amount of money because we're gonna fix this, and they don't fix nothing. You know what I'm saying? They take away from the community, right?
Right.
So my thing would be ownership. Let's get in the ownership position. Let's get into training positions where some young girls. You may could teach them how to cook, or how to take care of this, or how to learn different things, right?
Right.
Train different.
Oh
different ways, right?
I'm ready to do it all. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna be doing. So listen, like, I'm Eva, and I do whatever it takes to help my community. And there's really no gain to it. So programming, we talked about the Great Way Mentorship Program.
Let's talk about the youth entrepreneur.
The youth entrepreneurship program that we're doing with my young author over here, Ayub.
That's cameraman Ayub Ali.
Yes, cameraman.
Make sure you get that book too. I'll start now.
Yes, please buy his book. I bought 2. They only $20. You could buy one.
15.
Oh, they 15.
Make it easy.
You lowering? You having a brother lower his price?
No, that's a youth entrepreneur.
All right. Well, and then Cash App him the rest, because he should not have to discount. His
Successwithayub.com.
Right. They always on self-promote. This is the branding king. The branding king. He's the one who taught Snug how to brand. Get on my nerves.
Listen, we have
everywhere.
We have to work.
We used to show up to the events with all the... I used to be so mad. I used to be so mad. But anyways...
I'll do it for that. I'll do it for us.
No, I know. But he's the branding king. He'll have the t-shirt, the hat, the socks. The chargers, the ear pods.
You have to stamp that. Listen.
Branding is important.
Very important.
But the youth entrepreneurship, we're going to be talking about branding. We're going to be talking about how to really put your business out there and get started, especially as a young entrepreneur, to create Black wealth in our communities. You need to be able to have generational wealth. You have to create that. So you can do that by starting a business, and it can be something as small as making lemonade or lip gloss or writing a book. That's an entrepreneur. Or you know how to make flyers, or all different things.
It's empowering.
So far I have 2 people signed up. I think we're gonna keep it like a small group because it's like our pilot. But We're also working with Lukey Forbes, who will be facilitating a lot of the training. I know a lot of people know him from the Black Lives Matter movement. I know him as an educated
Young
genius.
Man, yeah, absolutely. He's part of the community solutions as well.
Yeah,
I just gave him his invitation.
So he's gonna be. I've been again with my mentorship and how this is how I mentor is just by being there and just being a voice and being an ear sometimes. And just like with you, I was the same way. Call Lukey up, talk to him. I mean, not dictating anything that you're doing, but like, look, check up. Just, I love you through your process.
You need that recharge sometimes. Sometimes when you charging everybody else, you die. Sometimes your energy dies. It's like, all right.
We all need that. Like that's why it takes a village to be able to help us. And I wrote before I leave, and I only got a couple minutes because I have class. Because I'm trying to improve.
And I want to ask you too about. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're fine.
The Albany Fest.
Albany Fest, yes. So Albany Fest is always the end of August. This year, we are not able to host it at Lincoln Park because it's under construction. So we're looking for a site, but it is going to be August. I think it falls on the last Saturday. It's like August 27th. So we need both entrepreneurs and we need resources. This is, how we demonstrate how unity and collaboration creates positive change. We bring all of our community partners together. We create a platform for businesses. We create a platform for resources. And we always have a theme, and this year's theme is going to be centered around unity. And last year's theme was liberation. And you guys might have missed it, but I have a video that's very powerful. And go check out Albany Fest on Facebook. The video's on there. Or if you want to see it, I can share it. But we're definitely here to do things. We have, music. It's just beautiful. We uplift our artists, our musicians, our chefs. We lift up our nonprofits. We lift up our businesses and everybody. Trust me. Everybody always reports that they make bad money, and we don't. And we have a small vendor fee just to help get this, because I'm not rich and I be paying for stuff out of my pocket.
That's a fact.
But small vendor fee, I think it's like anywhere between $25 to $50. Okay. Everybody tells me to do it higher, but I just want this to be an opportunity. But people always make good money. Like, it's always worth it. You can ask around. You can ask around. I know you would sell it.
A couple dollars last year. And then another thing, the peace march.
The Peace March. Yeah. So the Peace March is happening. We are doing it in June because we are organizing and not so we've been doing this for how many years? We've been doing this since like 2014, right? So 2014, it started off little, but then it catch the momentum, and we've been really standing against violence, and not only gun violence. The Peace March is about peace in our community. It's about against domestic violence. It's against any kind of violence in our community. So we do highlight gun violence because it is so concentrated in our community. But we need the people to come out and represent, because we want to walk through these streets, and then we share resources. And then we have community conversation and dialogue. Like the last one we had guest speakers. I had a domestic violence survivor. I had some folks that were in prison. I had
the mothers that lost their children.
Yep, we had the mothers that lost their children to violence. So we also have dialogue, because it is about getting together, have a good time, but it's about also feeding our people, and besides feeding them, physically, because we do have a nice spread every year where you eat good for free. We also feed you mentally and spiritually.
Absolutely. And then one more thing, the president of Albany and Troy Lions Club.
Yeah, right? So I am the president of the Albany and Troy Lions Club. It's a service, international service organization that I do represent. And sadly, because COVID, we have been a little bit low key, but not really. We were able, even through, that right before COVID and through COVID, we were able to do a blueberry orchard. We were able to do help support a pandemic produce market to supply food. We were able to do community cleanups. We were able to do feed our first responders at the hospital, and we gave out thousands and thousands and thousands of bottles of hand sanitizer with that we purchased from Grateful Villages, and we partner with the city of Albany with some of that,
So
to be able to do
anybody
that.
want to volunteer, is any way you can volunteer and stuff like that?
Yes, because
Okay.
number one, I'm looking for board members, and number two, I'm looking for volunteers for events. So during the summertime, it's about manpower. I only can do so much myself, but I can facilitate community cleanups, barbecues, different things, anything that addresses and serves the community. Trying to focus on health equity, trying to focus on just being there to bridge the gap, with the service organizations. So I did write. And this is on my Facebook page, but I want to read it because I know I have to go. But I was like really thinking about how can I describe myself and what I do, because I do wear so many hats, and I don't like toot my horn. Nobody sees me taking pictures. Nobody sees me in the video. What was I saying? I remember you was trying to look for a video for the what's his name? Yeah, he got the worst.
Got him.
He got the worst, but yo.
It's all love though. It's all love though. It's not about
got me, and he got me slipping today because usually
a lot of people don't get to see what you do. So I just want people
right.
to see who's
and it's not really about me. It's about bringing us together.
Right. It's still.
And I can't believe it's like I can't even talk about everything.
It's still important. And I know. I'm sure we gotta get you back on. I know you gotta go with a class and everything.
Right. And I'm not rushing. I got a couple minutes or whatever the case may be. I just want to read. I definitely want to read this just so you understand who I am, and it kind of sums up what I do in each capacity. And basically what I wrote was that it takes a village to bridge the gaps and connect people to impactful resources. As a lion, I lead to promote unity and collaboration to create positive change, and together with God, we can see liberation, justice, and healing, and salvation for all. And that's basically what I stand for, in whatever capacity that I'm in. And it's beyond a job. It's beyond having a organization. It's not about anything but creating unity in our community, helping us heal our relationships, because I don't want to keep on hearing that our children are dying. I don't want to keep on feeling this way. I am really affected by all of this violence, and I also want to clear up that I am from the city of Albany too. I got a lot of that when I started working for the city. I was called a coon and all kind of weird stuff because I took a position to help, and that I'm not from here, but I definitely am. I just never went to school. I went to private school, so I never went to Albany High or anything like that.
You're doing more in the community than anybody
and
in the community, so
I can't even measure because there's probably people doing way more that we just don't know.
See, right.
So I don't even measure it like that. I think that we're all out here doing our best. You know what I mean? And I think that we just need to put some energy towards doing it collectively so that we can be more impactful with how we're approaching that. And as a community, I want to see us come together as a community to build wealth and to build space and to build opportunities. You know what I mean?
1.3 trillion leaves the black community every year and don't come back.
Yeah.
You need to put that.
Yeah.
At least 1 trillion, at least $1 billion of that in our community.
We're the only race that it doesn't. And when I say black people, I'm talking about Hispanic people too.
Right.
Y'all black. Y'all just as black.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, everybody want to put these labels in, like we come in all different kind of shades and things, and we're from different nations, but we all black. And at the end of the day, we need to learn how to build, learn how to create, and that's why I promote entrepreneurship and building businesses, because if you create that wealth within your own self and your own family, it's not only going to benefit your community, but it's going to benefit generations to come. And that's what we need to really focus on, as well as healing.
That's what we're doing.
So,
like I say, they got Wall Street, we got all streets globally. Make sure y'all holler at the sister Eva Bass. Stay in tune.
Stay tuned, because we working like as we speak. We got things coming up, and I just really want to work with as many people as possible who have the same missions and goals as I do.
And that's the solution.